Hi, this is John Dingle, and this is my IDS 403 Module 4-1 video blog on digital identity. The topic of digital identity and the real world self is a hard topic for me because people who know me know that I hate talking about myself or my accomplishments in life and in the professional world. Yet, my digital identity would suggest a different person. I have many interests in my personal life and as a graphic designer. My social media accounts are the highlight reel of both of these worlds. Many times they overlap into my Instagram accounts or onto my professional graphic design website. I have one Facebook account which I don't post anything, and I may spend a couple minutes a day seeing what's going on with my friends. I don't have a Twitter account, Snapchat, or LinkedIn account. I have 3 Instagram accounts, one personal, one for my adult baseball team that I manage and play in, and one professional for my graphic design life. I would say my digital identity is and my real world self are pretty close together. I'm a bit of an introvert. I don't voice my opinions. I don't care much for others arguing over silly topics that really don't matter in life. No digital self is a complete whole of a person. It is, however, for the most part, a representation of the best parts of our lives. It does make me wonder, though, if I'm taking images and posting them on Instagram to boost my digital identity or my sentimental real self. I'm a bit of a sentimental person. I take lots of pictures of things as life happens, and I choose to post them on Instagram as a placeholder to show close family and friends. But for some reason, I feel I do it for myself to look back and remember things as life moves so quickly. Technology has enabled me to express my artistic dimension of myself. That's why I like Instagram. I love photography and taking pictures of things as I move through the world every day and posting them. Usually the different filters and sometimes using hashtags here and there to show others what I can do as a professional graphic designer. I'm not a great self promoter, so I'm a bit of a starving designer. I'm still learning and growing to put myself out there, and my digital identity helps me break out of my real self shell. Technology certainly influences my identity and behavior. Sometimes I find myself taking a picture and posting not for my real self, but for my digital identity because it may be funny or interesting. It makes me feel good to see a total stranger or a corporate identity, like or comment on a post. I can see how this can consume people as they keep sharing things, playing to the digital crowd. My real life identity is a bit of a follower. I do take risks and challenge myself. But when I see others sharing things as their digital identity shines, I can't help but want to do the same. I see all the time images of people on social media participating in like a mud run or a mud course to promote fitness or for a social cause. Then I see more and more people always trying to one up the next person, using their digital identity to make them feel better about themselves, which most of us do. I like to think my online identity isn't as much of a performance, but a reflection of my interests and my professional capabilities. But I know as I'm only sharing the best of me, it kind of feels like I'm showing off. I don't care about the number of likes or comments I get as I post things for the world to see. I guess to me, Instagram is like a personal photo book in which I like to look back on things. I think my behavior is a little bit bolder than my real self. I try to promote professionally, which is hard for me to do in person. People tend to hide behind technology, and I guess I'm no different. My digital identity affects my confidence as a person. It's hard for me to talk about myself as a person or as a designer in real life, but it's easy for my digital self. I think it raises my self confidence as a person and as a designer. I think I stay true to myself, but but not creating a false identity in any way. My email, text communication is the same as if I were talking in person. I think that's because I'm a little bit older and I grew up in a non-digital age where we actually sat and talked to people face to face. In the Philosophy of Change blog by Tim Raynard that was in our reference materials, he makes the connection to social media and the design of a prison. The prisoners take responsibility for regulating their behavior because they feel they are always being watched by the guards. But I found this quote very telling to how we use social media. We are both guards and prisoners, watching and judging one another as we share content. I guess that's why I never comment on posts or share things other than pictures on Instagram. I stay true to myself for the most part. I'm not one to judge. I don't want to add or to any drama or I see on social media feeds. I stay somewhat private as I let my photos do most of the talking of my digital self. My digital identity gives me a sense of my personal weaknesses. I know I'm not a great professional promoter, but my digital identity helps me overcome any personal shortfalls. Thanks.